Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, race fans. It's Sunday evening again. That means we're here doing some Apex this season 24 racing. This week we head to one of the most iconic Formula One tracks in the world, the Silverstone circuit. It's the beating heart of British motorsport and one of Formula One's most iconic venues. If you're a fan of Formula One, you would have watched the race today. I won't give you any spoilers, but it was interesting. Silverstone is located near the villages of Silverstone and Whittlebury in North Hampshire, England. This legendary track has been thrilling fans since 1948. It was originally an old RAF airfield. Its transformation into a racing cathedral is nothing short of historic. The Grand Prix layout spans 5.891 kilometers, or 3.661 miles for our American friends, and features 18 turns. The Grand Prix layouts the track will be featuring here tonight, using the full Grand Prix layout, not the national circuit. The most famous corners are probably Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. It's a sequence that tests the limits of both driver and machine. Currently, the fastest lap ever recorded was by Max Verstappen in 2020, back in the RB16 car. It was a 127.097. Don't expect to see any of our Ferrari Challenge drivers going that quickly here this evening. Silverstone also hosted the first ever Formula One Grand Prix Championship race, won in 1950 by Giuseppe Farina. The track's layout still traces the triangular runways of its World War II airfield origins, and Lewis Hamilton holds the record for the most wins at Silverstone with 9 victories, making it his most successful circuit. It's also his home circuit, so whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, Silverstone delivers speed, history, and drama in every lap. Get ready to feel the roar of the Ferrari Challenge machinery out here this evening, as we've got qualifying just underway in this one. Let's take a look at the conditions that our drivers are facing here this evening. We've got a 66-degree air temp. That's going to translate to 74 degrees Fahrenheit. A little cloudy out there. I don't believe we have any signs of rain in the forecast, so just a little bit of haze and fog in this one. And we'll take a quick look at the qualifying results to this point in a few moments. But first, we've got some championships on the go here. Let's take a look here first at our mid-pack Larry side of things, which would be our AM drivers. Tony Phillips leading the way with 20 points, 2 ahead of Christopher Diaz in second place. Aaron Sunday currently in third with 17 points. Tim Hawelka in fourth, 1 point back of him. Another point back, Kent Kruger rounds out the top 5. And we see Jesse Meager and Uwe Hale rounding out the drivers who have earned points so far in this season. Now let's take a look at our pro side of things. Tom O'Gorman leading the way at 21 points. Justin Atchison currently in second spot, 20 points. Mark Miller, another point back of Atchison in third, 19 points. So 2 races in, still close at the top of the standings for 1, 2, and 3. Brian Zinn currently holding down 4th spot at 16 points. He's 1 ahead of Kelly Greenhoe in 5th. John Cooper, 1 back of Greenhoe in 6th. Joseph Marr, another 1 back from Coop. Sean Teeter in 8th with 12 points. And Corey Mitchell, our last driver who has recorded points at this point in the pro side of the field. We also have a sponsor here this season. Again, Apex Sim Racing is back again to sponsor this season. Apex Sim Racing, for all your immersive racing gear. They carry brands like Cube Controls, Momo, Moza, Saybelt, Segment Integrale, SimMagic, OBP, OMP, Rich DPC, and Apex Sim Racing brands, their own brand. They sell pedals, steering wheels, wheelbases, displays, shifters, seats, dashboards, button boxes, cables, and more. Essentially everything you could possibly need to get on the track in sim racing. Use the code APEXTHIS and you'll save 5% on any Apex Sim Racing products at their website. That is Apex Sim Racing. We thank them again for being on board this season. Okay, let's head on over to qualifying here and see how our drivers are shaping up. So we hop on board here currently with Jesse Meager sitting in second place. Right now, he is 2/10 back of John Cooper. So Coop looking strong early on in this one, up top of the qualifying standings. So we on board here with Coop. Normally he's got his own painted up custom livery for John Cooper Electric. This week he's just rocking the shell paint scheme. So see how Coop fares this season. Currently leading the way in qualifying. Onboarding with Brian Zinn. Zinn currently sitting in fourth place. He would love to improve on his time, move himself up a little farther in the qualifying standings. Currently right now sitting 6/10 back of our pole sitter Jonathan Cooper. We're still waiting for laps from a number of drivers. Here, as we just saw, it was Kelly Greeno register a lap. Kelly back in the blue, gray, and white camo paint job again this week. Currently sitting in sixth place, 1.4 seconds back of John Cooper, our pole sitter. So still some room for improvement there for Kelly. No doubt he'll be trying to improve. Kelly had a nice qualifying last week at Watkins Glen, but the race didn't quite go the way he would have planned. See if he's able to improve on that. Last week's winner, Tom O'Gorman, and championship leader, not in the session this week. So he's going to be ripe for the picking at the top of the championship standings. We'll see if any one of our number of drivers can find a way to knock him down. On board here with Sean Giroux. Sean coming around the last sector here. He's going to finish up his lap. Currently sitting in 10th place. Sean back 3.5 seconds back for pole sitter. So a little bit of a slower lap. First time by for Sean. This is probably his first real heater. See how he does when he heads across the line here into the final corner. Out of the final corner, we see him come across. See if Sean's able to improve to a 3.14. It's going to take a couple tenths off his time, but unfortunately not going to improve him any positions. So go back here. Brian Zins moved himself up another spot into third place. That's going to bump Jesse Meager down into fourth. But up top of the standings, Brian Lemke has found himself up top spot. All of our top four have now pushed John Cooper all the way back into fifth. Lemke, our first driver into the 2-minute point ones. Bordering on getting the sub 2-minute lap time here. Currently leading the way. Sean Teeter 1/10 back. Tight battle between these two drivers up ahead. Sean usually rocking some kind of Monster Energy paint scheme, and he's doing it again this week. Into Maggots and Beckett's he goes. As I mentioned early on, probably one of the most popular set of corners in motorsports. Oh, we see Sean getting loose there. He's going to lose the back end, and around he goes. So that is going to pretty much all but seal his qualifying run to this point. Justin Atchison currently in 7th place. But 1.3 seconds back of our pole sitter, Brian Lemke. See how Atchison does. It looks like he's heading into... Oh, he's going to get an off track there. You put about half your car over onto that green AstroTurf, but just saw Atchison was well over there, but he loses it on that corner too as well. So wasn't shaping out to be a good lap for Justin Atchison, unfortunately. On board here with Troy Banks. Troy currently sitting in 9th place, 1 spot ahead of Corey Mitchell in 10th. So go on board here with Troy as he's coming across the line. He's going to start another lap, and unfortunately for him, we're running just about 2-minute lap times. So that's going to not allow him to come around and finish up another lap. But Brian Lemke, our first car, sub 2 minutes, 1:59.9 for Lemke this evening. Jonathan Cooper found his way back up into second place. He's going to pop into the pits. Coop now 3/10 back of Lemke, so close to going sub 2 minute 2 as well. That's going to move Sean Teeter and Brian Zinn down to third and fourth. Joseph Mauer's got himself up into fifth place. And a lot of black Ferraris out here this evening. Not necessarily a popular color for Ferraris as far as paint schemes go. Traditional is the red, with I'd say probably the yellow Ferrari being probably the second most iconic paint color of a Ferrari you would see on the road or even in racing in general. So Ozek Sulu, 13th place. He's driving a yellow Ferrari, as I just mentioned. So I think actually the only red one we have was Jonathan Cooper, and looks like Ozek Sulu possibly early out. Looks like Kent Kruger on track, but he's not going to finish that time. He had a little Yorkshire tea, a little throwback to some British roots there for Kruger on his livery. So that's going to wrap up qualifying there as the clock ticks over. We'll just wait for timing and scoring to reset. We'll have a look at the qualifying results. Oh, sorry. Let's look at the grid. There we go. Brian Lemke going to lead the way. Our only driver, sub 2 minutes. Just ahead of John Cooper, Sean Teeter, and Brian Zinn going to make up third and fourth in the second row. Joseph Mauer in fifth. He'll have Jesse Mager to his outside. Kelly Greenhoe and Troy Banks going to take up seventh and eighth. Justin Atchison in ninth. Christopher Diaz rounding out the top 10. Looking in at the top 10 is Corey Mitchell in 11th. Sean Giroux in 12th. Behind them, Ozek Sulu and Aaron Sunday going to start 13th and 14th. Kent Kruger in 15th. Stan Hammonds pops in last minute, no time set, in 16th. And Uwe Hale, we'll see if he grids up. We didn't see him on track in qualifying at all. So as it shapes up, 17 car grid right now. Waiting for a couple more drivers to pop in. And then we'll be getting ready to go. Jonathan Cooper, our second place car, on the grid, awaiting the start. So we're looking for Brian Lemke. Lemke's going to pop in there. Waiting on Chris Diaz, Corey Mitchell, Aaron Sunday, Kent Kruger, and Hale. We're getting the old razzle dazzle back there from, I believe that's Stan Hammonds. Giving us the old high beams. There he is. The Sky Lounge machinery. Stan had a heck of a night last week in the Mazda series on Sousa nights. Threw it deep into turn 4 at Beausport, lost the back end, and around he went. Okay, looks like everybody's on track except for Hale. Hale is either not going to join us or he's going to start from the pit lane. Either way, it's time to go racing. So as usual, this will be a 40-minute race. Our drivers are fuel limited. They will have to come in for a pit stop at some point in time. They won't need tires, but they will need fuel. So we're getting ready to go here. Short pace lap this evening. Just the way we like it. Brian Lemke, Jonathan Cooper are going to lead them around. There we go. We got the leaders on the bottom screen. We've got the grid coming up on the front. See our pack leading around. There we go. Off into turn 1. And away we go. We've got some carnage early on in this one. Sean Teeter losing the back end. He's going to fall all the way back into 16th place. Otherwise, looked like it was a fairly clean start. Let's see what happened to Sean Teeter. We got the leaders on the bottom screen. Up top, we'll see what happened to Teeter. Teeter in that black and green Ferrari on the inside. Oh, looks like he might have had a little bit of help there. Around he goes, and looks like Kent Kruger involved in something too as well here not long after. Let's see what happened to Kruger. Oh, he just got woed up as Jesse Meager and Corey Mitchell were around too as well. Ozek Sulu involved in that one. See if we can have a look at what happened there too as well. Well, we got the replay machine queued up. Again, leaders on the bottom screen. Oh, it looks like Xulu just came in too hot, got spun around. Unfortunately, Meager nowhere to go. He got collected up by, I believe that was Corey Mitchell. And back on track they go. So let's pick back up here as we got a battle between Kelly Greenhoe and Brian Zinn. Zinn in the blue, black, and gray car, trying to chase down that other blue, black, and gray car, but more gray, of Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe trying to hold him off. Zinn with a nice run through that corner. There he goes side by side. We'll see if Zinn's able to late brake. Kelly Greenhoe, not the greatest brakes in these machines. Really have to kind of brake a little earlier than where you would think you would have to in a GT3 car. As Zinn's going to make that move stick. It's going to move him back up into fourth place where he qualified. It's going to move Kelly Greenhoe down into fifth. It's still plus 2 spots for Kelly from where he qualified, but now he's feeling some pressure from Christopher Diaz. Watch this battle here. We got the leader battle going on down below. Jonathan Cooper, Brian Lemke in them around. Coop's going to make the move on Lemke into turn one. Lemke looks like a little bit of a slowdown there, still trying to bleed it off, but Kelly Greenhoe trying to hold off Chris Diaz. Now he's fighting back on Brian Zinn up ahead. Zinn goes into the left side. Both of them kind of missing the apex through that corner. You want to hold it a little tighter. They'll continue to battle on. We got another battle in behind. Sean Teeter and Corey Mitchell too as well. Teeter trying to recover from that early spin. Looks like Corey Mitchell might be missing the front bumper on his car. He is. That must have happened when he got tangled up with Jesse Meager, or Ozek Sulu, sorry, when Nick Sulu spun just ahead of him. The story right now though, Jonathan Cooper running away with this one. He's got out front of Lemke. He opened up 8 tenths now over Lemke. There's 3. Oh no, I see that. Coop's going to lose it. He holds on to the back end though. It's going to cost him a couple spots. Mara gets by. Zinn gets by. Lemke. Bree takes over top spot. Kelly Greenhoe going to get by too as well. So Jonathan Cooper was able to hold on to that one to avoid complete chaos, but it cost him a number of spots. He's shown some pace early on here, so we'll see if he's able to get that position back. But right now, not the way he wanted this one to start, no doubt. All right, back to Teeter trying to chase down Corey Mitchell. Corey with that little bit of aero deficient car there, still doing well, holding off Sean Teeters. We're seeing Teeter pushing hard on the back of Corey's car. No doubt. Oh, Aaron Sunday out of nowhere tries to throw it up the inside. Let's go on board here with Aaron Sunday and take a look at what he's looking at. Trying to chase down that car of Corey Mitchell up ahead. Mitchell might be faring a little better in the draft. He's missing that front bumper. Definitely out front, it's going to be like a big wind blade slowing him down. But if he can stay tight on the back of Sean Teeter's bumper up ahead, he might be able to at least stay in his draft range. See if Mitchell's able to stay tucked in there. But up front, Lemke feels some pressure from Joseph Marr. As we saw, Lemke had to relinquish his spot due to a slowdown, which was beneficial to Jonathan Cooper, but fortunately for Coop, it didn't last too long. He had to fall back, gather himself up after that spin. He's got himself back on track, righted right now, carrying on. So we've got Joseph Marr on the top screen here. We've got Jonathan Cooper on the bottom screen. Cooper trying to chase down Greenhoe and Zinn up ahead. Joseph Marr trying to find a way around Brian Lemke on the top side. It's a battle for P1 up top. Our battle for third, fourth, and fifth on the bottom screen as our drivers currently on lap 3. Just coming up to the 6-minute mark of this 40-minute race. Still plenty of time to make some moves. Our drivers shouldn't feel a whole lot of pressure at this point in time. You can see the lead battle and the battle for third place just kind of out of eye shot there. Look back from Lemke's car, you can see the chasing Joseph Maher in behind. So they're going to come around to finish up lap 3. That's going to kick off lap 4 here. A little farther back in the pack, we got a battle here between Exilu and Sunday. Looks like Jesse Meager might have had another issue later on. Let's see what happened to him here. It's like a solo spin, trying to get himself regrouped up off that spin early on where he got caught up in the Exilu Mitchell moment. Just came in a little too hot there, and I believe he called it quits after that situation there. Should probably hop on board here with Stan Hammonds, our biggest mover and shaker at this point, up 8 positions right now for Stan Hammonds. Nice showing at this point in time for him. So go on board with him as he's got Justin Atchison and Christopher Diaz just up ahead. Hammond's last time by 201.74 to Atchison's 202.16. So if they run similar paces the next couple laps, Hammond should be tight on the tailpipes of Justin Atchison. Right now, still trying to find a way to close that gap. Atchison within draft of Diaz up ahead, so that's helping him stay ahead of Hammonds at this point in time. You see our drivers just throwing it into the Maggots and Beckett section. In behind Hammonds, Troy Banks, down 1 spot from where he qualified. So Troy, a comfortable race so far, kind of inwards where he started down, as I mentioned, down 1 spot, but potential to make those positions back up. Let's hop back up here with Jonathan Cooper, our 2nd place starter. Held the lead for a lap or 2. Unfortunately lost the back end, had to gather it up, but trying to put some pressure on Kelly Greenhill right now for 4th place. Kelly up 3 spots from where he started. So he'd love to hold on to this position and not relinquish it. But Jonathan Cooper, oh, we see Coop up and over the curbs. Some sparks flying there. That's going to cause a little bit of undercarriage damage, no doubt. Coop's going to want to minimize his time up on the curbs for sure. That's going to allow Chris Diaz to close that gap some in behind him. Nice race right now with Diaz up 4 spots from where he qualified. Trying to catch John Cooper, who had up and down race so far these first 5 laps. Coop's seen a bit of all of it. Check back in our leaders. Lemke still trying to find a way to break the draft with Joseph Maher. So then weaving a little bit on the hanger straight. Maher's going to look to the inside. Not enough overlap to make that pass on Lemke. It did force Lemke out wide. That's going to cost them a bit of time. Lurking in behind is Brian Zinn. That's going to allow him to close that gap a little bit. See that lead battle running away from up front as they head down the old pit straight, the old start-finish line, around the corner, and now they're going to head into the world-famous Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel. See here if Maher is able to find some overrun through this section. If you can hit it just right, it's a beautiful feeling through this section. Just so flowing, but you get it wrong, and this hanger straight right after it is real tough to get a nice run on the car in front. So it looks like both our drivers got through there fairly clean. See if Maher gets enough for a run to make a move on Lemke. Still too far back. Tries to drive it deep onto the brakes. He's going to bleed out to the left. That's going to allow Zinn to close that gap again. Our top 6 now separated by only about 2 seconds now, all the way back to Chris Diaz. See Diaz, the final car in that train of cars. And they go around and finish up lap 6. Now we got Sean Giroux putting some pressure on Corey Mitchell. Corey's still driving around with that front bumper missing. I'm not sure when the fuel window is for Corey, but he's definitely going to want to pop in there as soon as he possibly can. Mitchell, no doubt, losing a ton of top speed right now in that car. Oh, we see Sean Giroux getting tight up on the back bumper there of Corey Mitchell. Drew trying to make a move around the outside. Oh, Mitchell fights back. They almost touch. If there's one thing about Corey, he will make that car as wide as he possibly can for as long as he possibly can. So pop up our lead battle on the bottom screen. Joseph Marr still trying to find a way to chase down Brian Lemke up top. See how Corey Mitchell can defend against Sean Drew. Oh, Drew getting a little loose through that corner. That's going to allow Corey a little bit of breathing space. See if Sean Drew able to reel that back in. He's putting a ton of pressure on Corey there at the start of this lap, but might have been overdriving the car. Now he's fallen out of touch with Mitchell a little bit. Now about 4/10 back. Had fallen back to about 6/10, so he's closed up through this section. The high-speed areas is where Drew is really going to benefit, with Mitchell having that aero damage on the front end. You see here, Drew able to close up on the back of Mitchell. I believe it's only a matter of time once they exit out of Maggots and Beckett's. Down the hanger straight, Drew should get a nice run through here. Kent Kruger lurking in behind too as well. Gonna go on board here with Sean Drew, see if he sends up the inside. No. Again, Corey Mitchell able to hold off that charge. That's allowing Kent Kruger, though, to get into this battle. Kent would love to try and take this position away, too, as well. On board here with Kent, see Sean Drew up ahead. Sean's fallen back through the last couple corners from Mitchell, too, as well. Not getting through that section as well as he'd really like to at this point in time. Feeling some pressure from Kent Kruger, the big dog, the chief admin of the league. Kent, as I mentioned, with his Yorkshire pudding, with a throwback to the English countryside here. Or not Yorkshire pudding, Yorkshire tea, sorry. Correct myself. Corey Mitchell now the plug in the bottle right now, the cork in the bottle. He's got Sean Drew, Kent Kruger, Aaron Sunday, Ozek Sulu all tucked in behind him. Go check back in on our leaders up front. Kelly Greenhoe has fallen back. Let's see if we can see what happened to Kelly. He's now down to 8th place. A nice run going up 4 spots, but it's like Christopher Diaz crashed. Might have caught up Kelly Greenhoe too as well. Oh, Diaz is going to go off track himself. Oh, does he hold on to it? Oh, he almost saved it. Unfortunately, that little bit of action on the grass was the last nail in the coffin for him. But let's see what happened to Kelly Greenhoe. As he was chasing down Zinn, had Cooper in behind him. Oh, he's just going to come in too hot. Loses the back end. As he get it turned around, I see a number of cars going by there. It's unfortunate for Kelly, but we've seen he has the pace. We'll see if he's able to close back in. If anything's shown us in this first 14 minutes, pretty much anything can happen in this race. Zinn now within striking distance of Joseph Marr. See Marr and Lemke up ahead, those 2 black Ferraris. Zinn really closing down the gap here. Joseph Marr having to drive defensively. A little less focus at the windshield, a little more focus in his mirrors now with Zinn that close. See what kind of pressure Zinn can put on Joseph. He's up ahead, Brian Lemke leading the way. Had that one little bobble so far where he had to slow down. Cooper was able to take advantage of it, hopped up top. But then unfortunately for Cooper, he had that bobble, had to fall back. Working his way back up though, back up into 4th. Trying to chase down our leaders. He's now 4.2 seconds back of Lemke, but only 2.7 seconds back of the 2nd place battle. Our biggest mover though is this guy here. Stan Hammond started tail on the field, put himself up 11 positions at this point in time. The 55 machine of Hammond's going to go a little wide as he's heading into Maggots Beckett's now. He's got Justin Atchison and Troy Banks in tow. But Hammond's showing some strong speed out there right now. He's gotten through the majority of the field, but He's getting up into the meat and potatoes of the field right now. His best time is slower than all of our top 4 up ahead of him, so Hammond's going to have to find about another half a second or so to potentially move up any more positions here, but he's not without of battle here. It's Atchison and Banks in behind. Greenhoe lurking back there too as well, trying to recover after his spin. But this battle right now between Atchison and Banks, that's for 6th place overall. Atchison trying to hold off Troy Banks. Troy Banks dropped out early last week at Watkins. A bit of an issue heading up through the S's on me. I believe it was either lap 2 or 3. Get into the outside guardrails on the left side and then decided to call it quits from there. Yeah, that was enough for him. See the various lines. So there, Atchison going wide, trying to carry more pace. Troy Banks, Kelly Greenhoe holding a little bit of a tighter line. Sean Teeter lurking in the background too as well. That black and green Ferrari. So it's turning into a 5-car battle now for 5th place very quickly. Let's go up to our leaders again quick. Status quo. Zinn still trying to find a way around Marr. Lemke opening up a bit of a gap now. He's got 1.1 seconds over Joe Samar. Marr with a less than optimal exit over there. Zinn looked around the outside of turn 2, unable to make the move. He's going to try and go around the long way. Oh, into Maggots and Beckett's they go. Oh! Marr going to lose the back end into the wall. Not sure if there was contact there. We'll take a quick look here and see what happened there. Go up to the chopper. Oh, there was some contact. Ooh, we'll have to see how the stewards rule that one next week. But it was a bit of a racing incident there with a little bit of contact. Looks like Zinn got into the side of Marr. Not really a whole lot of room to get through there. Let's see if we can take another look here and see what happened here. See Zinn in the blue car, Marr in the black car. Marr trying to hold Zinn tight. Ooh. We'll have to see how that's tight. We'll have to see how the stewards go. See something happened to Troy Banks too as well. We'll take a quick look at that one as we saw Troy trying to get around Justin Atchison. Oh no, Cooper spun. Cooper might have kicked this all off here. Let's see what happened to Jonathan Cooper. Coop was on his recovery one. Same corner we saw Kelly Greenhoe go around. He's going to lose the back end. Troy Banks coming through here. Let's see what happens to Banks. There goes Hammonds. Oh, Banks coming through there too as well. Almost similar. Sean Teeter almost gets into them too as well. Not sure what happened to Troy though. Let's see if we're not picking up what happened to him beforehand. Let's see here. This could be it. Troy Banks heading in. Oh, yeah, he just loses the back end. Came in a little hot. You see that little extra tap of the brake was all it took to lose the back end, and around he went. All right, well, our battle up top is separated a little bit. Brian Lemke now 2.7 seconds ahead of Zinn after that contact between Zinn and Maher. That's going to promote Stan Hammonds by virtue of attrition up into 3rd place, up 13 spots. Justin Atchison got himself up into 4th. Kelly Greenhoe not far behind him now in 5th. And we'll see if Greenhoe can find a way around Atchison. Troy Banks was unable to do it. We'll see if Kelly Greenhoe can find a way around that red Ferrari of Justin Atchison. Out of the hangar straight. They go wide line for Atchison. I don't think he necessarily planned it that way. Look like he missed his brake marker. Greenhoe thinking about sending it up the inside. Trying to force a mistake from Justin Atchison. Atchison not having it. Atchison's going to leave them around to finish up lap 11. Greenhoe lurking back there. He's firmly in the draft, though, of Justin Atchison. See if Greenhoe can find that little bit of extra pace to make the run. He's tight up there now. If he can get a nice run out of this next left-hander, there's a nice little straightaway here where he can make a move potentially. It's all going to be on who gets the better exit. Looks like Atchison might have had the better exit through that corner. Take a peek back here from Atchison's tail. And you see Greenhoe not really getting enough draft there to make a move, trying to dive it later on the brakes. Closes up on the tailpipe. Trying to force a mistake from Justin Atchison any which way he can. They've got Stan Hammond's not too far ahead of them. Hammond's been unable to run away and hide at this point in time from these two drivers. Check back here. We got a battle between Aaron Sunday and Kent Kruger. Sunday in the Our House No Drama machine. Probably the best paint scheme I've seen in a while. But he's trying to find a way around. Oh, a little bit of, gonna clean some of that rubber off the windshield there, but Aaron Sunday in behind Kent. Interesting move there, not trying to utilize the draft from Kruger down the short straight before they head towards Maggots and Beckett's. Interesting move there. Not sure if he's purposely trying to stay behind Kruger to save some fuel or not. They got Corey Mitchell up ahead of him. Corey's still driving around with no front bumper still. I wonder if he doesn't know he has a bumper, or he's missing a bumper. He's well within the pit window now where he could pop in, use his fast repair, get that car repaired and back up. Speaking of fast repairs, Joseph Maher, after we saw him have that incident with the wall, he's got himself back on track and into pit lane. You see the front end of that Ferrari, not all that happy. He's going to come in for his service. He'll use his quick repair. Get himself back on track here. Big guy about Kent Kruger. Kent holding off Aaron Sunday right now. He's actually closing in on Corey Mitchell and pulling away from Sunday. You know, on board here with Kruger, you can see Corey Mitchell up ahead, trying to do everything he can, trying to extract some pace out of that 296 challenge car with no front end. Greenhoe has gotten around Atchison. To see if we can pick up a replay of how that went down. Kelly Greenhoe was starting to put a bunch of pressure on Atchison. Looks like I found it right here. Let's take a quick look at that. Well, we got the Corey Mitchell Kent Kruger battle on the bottom. So here it is. Kelly Greenhoe throws it up the inside. Battle of the late breakers, dives up underneath. Justin Atchison is going to take that spot away. That's going to move Kelly back up into third place. So nice run for him right now. We'll go back live as Greenhoe now will try and chase down Hammonds up ahead. He's already put Justin Atchison 1 second back. Corey Mitchell right now doing well to hold off Kent Kruger in behind, but Kruger getting ever so closer on Mitchell. You see Sean Giroux's going to go off track up top. So try and get himself collected back up. Sean Teeter's going to get around. Not sure if that was necessary planned move by Sean Giroux or not, but see, we'll take a look here at what happened to Giroux. Those two green Ferraris. Looks like Giroux just went wide. Sean Teeter's going to move on by. So we go back live. Corey Mitchell defending like a lion right now. Trying to do everything he can to keep Kent Kruger in behind him. Kruger each lap getting ever so closer. 203.0 last time by for Kruger, 203.12 for Corey Mitchell. So we got Ozek Sulu coming in for his service. More and more of our drivers coming in to get that fuel that they need. No tires, just a little splash of fuel to get them to the end. Brian Lemke holding strong out front, opening up his gap now over Zinn. 3.9 seconds now over Brian. is in the Battle of Bryans up top of this one. Lemke currently leading that battle of the Bryans. Jonathan Cooper up and down day for Coop. Still a ways to go here for Coop. Just under 14 minutes. Still anything can happen here. Not the race he envisioned starting on the first row of the grid though. But he still has plenty of time to try and find a way to recoup that. But Aaron Sunday now closing back in on Kent Kruger. It's this battle between Kruger, Mitchell, and Sunday getting a little more spicy. See Corey Mitchell up ahead, doing well without that front bumper. I know I keep mentioning it, but generally impressed. I still can't believe he hasn't come in to feel his car though and repair that thing. Maybe Corey needs a new strategist. He's running on Ferrari strategy right now. I know we're driving Ferrari challenge cars, but doesn't mean you need to use the Ferrari F1 strategy in your race strat here. Coop gonna come into the pits too as well for his service. Stan Hammonds hasn't been able to lose Greenhoe and Atchison out of his rear view mirror. In fact, actually, Kelly Greenhoe quicker lap time by about half a second that time. He's starting to close back in on Atchison up ahead. Or Hammonds up ahead, sorry. I've looked back here from Hammond's car. You can see Greenhoe and Atchison lurking in the background. See if Hammonds can pick up the pace here. Greenhoe's quickest time, 2-minute flat, 0.89 to Hammond's 201.23. So still a few more tenths to be had for him. You see him pushing hard. Using up all the track and then a little bit of grass too as well. So Kent Kruger getting a run on Corey Mitchell. Kent like a shark playing with his food right now. He's just toying with Corey Mitchell. Into Maggots and Beckett's they go. See what kind of exit Ken gets here. See if Kent can make a move down the short hanger straight on Corey Mitchell. Corey's going to bleed out left a little bit. That's going to compromise his exit. Kent, though, not able to get enough of a run here, possibly to throw the move up in the inside. Corey Mitchell. See, no. Oh, he thinks about it. Kent tucks up the inside. Mitchell trying to fight back. Kent's going to door him out wide. Corey Mitchell has to gather that car up. Corey tucks back in behind Kent. Aaron Sunday going to try and take advantage too as well. Corey's going to cover that off. Kruger's going to go wide. Mitchell going to try and fight back, but Sean Teeter in that battle too as well now. These guys keep argy-bargying around here. Sean Teeter might be in the best spot right now as he's got Aaron Sunday, Corey Mitchell up ahead. Oh no, they almost touch. Aaron Sunday almost bled back across in front of Teeter. That's going to cost him a ton of time. Corey Mitchell holds on to that spot. What a battle further back in the field. Aaron Sunday's going to go out wide. Teeter's going to bleed out. Little door action there for him. Aaron Sunday's going to have to get those arms out. Oh, he just run off the road by Teeter again there. He's going to be hot now. Aaron Sunday is probably not overly enthused with this argy-bargy racing right now. Again, he's going to go around the outside. Teeter this time gives him a little more room. Teeter going to finally make that pass stick. Joseph Marr, after coming in early to get his service done, get his spare car, he's back on track and in this battle now. Let's go on board here with Joseph Marr, see what he sees up ahead. Aaron Sunday goes to the right, defensive. Teeter on the left out front. What a battle we got here. We'll go picture in picture. We got Kruger and Mitchell fighting on the bottom. Joseph Marr, Aaron Sunday, Sean Teeter up top. It's a battle for 8th place on the top screen. 6th place battle on the bottom. All of our top fives come in for their service this time by, so expect the rest of these drivers to pop in for fuel as well. Sean Teeter leading this 3-car pack around as Mitchell and Kruger opening up that gap. See Kruger and Mitchell coming in for their service, as well as this trio too as well. Our leader Brian Lemke in and out of the pits, back on track and opening up his gap even further on Brian Zinn. He's now got 5 seconds over Brian Zinn. So other than that one little bobble where Lemke had the slowdown, had to give up, relinquish top spot for a little bit until Jonathan Cooper gave it back to him. It's been a driving show here. Lemke finding his way around the track. Brian's in. We'll have to wait and see what the stewards rule on his incident with Joseph Marr. Right now got himself up 2 spots from where he qualified in second place. Still our biggest mover on the day though, Stan Hammonds, up 13 spots, capitalizing on mistakes of others and just outright pace, picking up a few other spots. He's now got himself a little bit of a comfortable gap over Kelly Greenhoe. Saw Greenhoe holding in the background there within Hammond's mirrors. He's now fallen 2.6 seconds back of Stan Hammonds. He's also opened up a bit of a gap over Justin Atchison. Atchison in 5th place, up 4 spots where he qualified. It's a nice day for him. But he's fallen 1.7, almost 1.8 seconds back of Kelly Greenhoe. Sean Teeter right now, Joseph Marr, this is our closest battle on track. We know Joseph Marr qualified in 5th. He started right beside Brian Zinn. 2 of them had that incident early on. And then Marr lost the back end into the wall. Trying to recover, had to come in early for his quick repair. Had to kind of nurse that car around for a lap or 2 to get into the pit window. He's fallen down to 7th place. Sean Teeter up ahead. He'd like to take that position away. Teeter down 3 spots too as well from where he qualified. So our 2 drivers in 6th and 2nd would love to try and make a little more headway up towards the front. To see Corey Mitchell now with a front end on his car again. Mitchell's gotten back around Kent Kruger through pit service. See, Corey Mitchell had a 8.4 second stop in the pits. Kent Kruger 9.83. That's cost Kent a couple spots as Aaron Sunday's got around him too as well. Coming up on almost 5 minutes to go. We'll see what kind of pace Mitchell has now that his car is no longer a big arrow wall. Corey probably having to relearn to drive his car all over again. Coming into corners a couple mile an hour quicker than he's been used to for the majority of the race, as that incident happened on lap 1. Have a look here at Sean Giroux. He's had some ups and downs, but he's wound up right back where he qualified. 12th overall. Sometimes those days be like that. Five minutes to go in this one. Should give us another 3 laps potentially as our leader Lemke crossing the line here now. Oh, pardon me, that's the old start-finish line. Just halfway through his lap. Lap traffic up ahead of, I believe that could be Ozek Sulu just ahead of him. It is. Lemke about to put Xulu down a lap. Xulu was one of the cars that spun early on just in front of Corey Mitchell. Actually, I believe that's where Corey Mitchell lost his bumper. It's like Sean Teeter catching up to the back of Justin Atchison. Atchison also reeling in Kelly Greenhoe. That gap was about 1.8 seconds last time we checked in on this battle. It's now under 1 second. Sean Teeter also 6/10 back of Atchison. So get a battle shaping up here for 4th, 5th, and 6th with about 2 laps to go. See them there, Kelly Greenhoe in the camo car, leading this trio. Just outside podium positions, currently held by Lemke, Zinn, and Hammonds. See there how many positions each one of our drivers has gained or lost. Generally, it'll tell you the story of how their race went. Sometimes a little more backstory, but here we see Sean Teeter putting some pressure on Atchison. He's really closed in there now. So we'll see if that allows Kelly Greenhoe to start to pull away, as Atchison's going to have to focus a little more on his defensive driving to try and hold Sean Teeter behind him. Oh, nice exit out of there for Sean Teeter. You see him really close that gap up. See if he gets enough of draft to make a move out of the hangar straight. Fakes a move to the right. Gonna fake again. Trying to get in the mirrors of Atchison, trying to force something. Should have a look back here from Atchison. Nice defensive driving here for him right now, able to hold off Sean Teeter. See, Joe Samar has to duck back into the pits again. That was a black car we saw diving into pit lane. Guess he had to come in before his pit window was open to get that thing repaired. Fortunately for him, he's got to pop back in for another little splash of fuel. So Greenhoe holding 6/10 over Atchison. Unfortunately for him, he hasn't been able to pull away. Now that Atchison's having to battle with Teeter behind, they've actually both closed in on Greenhoe. About 2 laps to go in this one. Getting down to the nitty-gritty for our drivers to try and make up positions. See a little indecisiveness there from Justin Atchison, not really quite sure which way he wanted to go defensively, if he wanted to go left or try and stay on the right. Either way, that's not relinquishing the pressure from Sean Teeter. Teeter putting a ton of pressure on the back end of Justin Atchison, but Atchison gets out of that corner a little quicker than Teeter. Teeter drove it deep onto the brakes, had to wait that extra half a second or so to get back into the throttle. It's all Atchison needed to open up a couple tenths again over him. Into Maggots and Beckett's they go again for the 19th time. Oh, Teeter loses the back end. That's going to cost him a ton of time. But Atchison, a nice run through there. He's going to close the gap down on Kelly Greenhoe a little more. To check in with our leader, Brian Lemke. He's going to come out of the final corner. And across start finish line, Barney not waving the white flag. So we're going to have this lap plus one more. Go back here. It's a story of ebbs and flows for Atchison as he closes in on Greenhoe and then falls back a little bit. Teeter late on the brakes there, closes in on Atchison. But again, Atchison gets a little better exit there than Teeter. Teeter's going to have to find a way to get back into the throttle a little quicker if he wants to try and make this move around Atchison up ahead. There it is. Atchison goes a little wide, misses the apex there. That allows Teeter to close back in. Atchison going to hang out to the right. Try and go defensive, force Teeter around the inside. Or outside, sorry. They both bobble. They go door to door. Atchison takes a tighter line. That's going to compromise his exit. Teeter getting a better run out of the exit there. He'll have the inside line in the next corner if he can stay side by side with Atchison, but Atchison going to power through. He's going to get himself back up front. Greenhoe loving this. Teeter later on the brakes. So he's going to take that spot around. Corey Mitchell, as I mentioned, quicker pit stop than Kent Kruger. He's had to duck back into the pits again. So Corey gambled trying to make up positions on Kruger and Giroux, or Kruger and Sunday. It's cost him. He's had to come back in for a second stop. Teeter now around Atchison. We'll see if he's able to chase down Greenhoe. Running out of time though. It's our leader Brian Lemke on his final lap. A few more corners to go for Brian Lemke. Might be a little bit of a fuel issue here. Sounds like he's saving fuel a little bit into the final corners. Nursing it across the line. Barney with checkered flag in hand. And Barney's just not going to bother waiting it this week, I guess. He's on strike, but Brian Lemke going to take the win. Brian's in, heading to the line. Stan Hammonds, nice run for him, up 13 spots. Kelly Greenhoe coming across in fourth. Teeter going to hold on to fifth. Atchison in sixth. Christopher Diaz got Joseph Marr in behind him. We saw Marr had to come in for another little splash of fuel. See if Diaz can hold off the charging Marr. Just trying to go around the outside, but Diaz is going to hold on to that position. Aaron Sunday and Kent Kruger. Doesn't look like Kruger's going to find a way around Sunday. Sunday going to hold on to ninth spot. That's going to be a top 10 for Kent Kruger. Oh, Sean Giroux is going to spin it in the... Looks like that's the second to last corner. Corey Mitchell, he's still out there heading through Maggots and Beckett's. Had to come back in with that little bit of extra fuel. I said it earlier, Corey should have come in early and get his car repaired. Probably would have gave him a little bit of an idea on the fuel load he was using. See Sean Giroux across the line. Finish up. We're just waiting on Corey Mitchell, and then we'll have an official race. Two more corners to go here for Corey Mitchell. He could have just actually popped into the pits there and cut through. It would have been a little shorter, but either way, last corner, and there we go. Corey Mitchell across the line. That'll do it. Well done to all of our racers. Congratulations. Brian Lemke taking the win. Let's take a look at our final results. As I mentioned, Lemke taking the win. Zinn in P2, Hammonds rounding out the podium. Greenholm comes in fourth, Teeter in fifth, Atchison in sixth, Diaz in seventh, Marr in eighth, Aaron Sunday in ninth, Kruger in 10th, Sean Giroux in 11th, Corey Mitchell 12th, and then we have Exulu, Cooper, Banks, Meager, and Hale all finishing up laps down. Hale and Meager out early on in this one, unfortunately for them. So that will wrap up things here race-wise at Silverstone. Let's see if we have any drivers into the booth. Looks like we got Brian Zinn in waiting. We'll have a chat with him in a few moments. But otherwise, that's going to wrap up the race here for Silverstone. But first, let's bring in our second place finisher, Brian Zinn. Zinn, congrats. Nice race. Moved up a couple spots. Looks like there was a little bit of a tangle there between you and Marr through Maggots and Beckett's. What did you see there from your end?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's unfortunate. I don't want to make up places that way, and I know Joseph's frustrated because it's 3 weeks in a row that him and I have had some sort of contact. I don't know if the curb pushed me out to him or if he just took a little bit of a tighter line there, but we just kind of met in the middle there, and it was just a most innocent of rubs, and unfortunately it just kind of spun him out. So I don't want to do it that way. Absolutely not how I want to pass somebody. It was tight racing up until that point. I was looking at our speeds going through there. We're pretty much identical. So, yeah, I feel bad for Joseph. That's not how I wanted to pass him there.
Yeah, there was a number of drivers that looked like they were having a little bit of trouble with the back end through, I believe it's turn 3, I want to say. We saw Kelly Greenhill lose the back end. We saw Jonathan Cooper lose the back end. Troy Banks too as well. How are you dealing with the lower grip on the rear of this car compared to the GT3 machinery?
I didn't have an issue with it until the very end when all the pushing that I did in the first half of the race caught up with me and the tires were cooked. So um, it's one of those cars where it rewards delicacy on the throttle application, kind of like a NASCAR or a V8 supercar almost. It loves steering with the brakes, and so you just mash the heck out of the brake pedal, but the gas pedal is a little bit more of a delicate touch. So it's easy at times to just want to wham on the throttle and fire out of a corner, but especially at a track like Silverstone, which seems like every time we come here, whether it's official or for a league race, it's like a low grip track state out here, very dusty. It it didn't make for a very fun combination tonight, but yeah, I personally didn't have issues with it. I saw Cooper spin in front of me going through cops, and some folks I think spun behind me. So obviously other folks were having a little bit of a challenge with it, but for me personally, I didn't have an issue on the traction front.
Next week is Spa. Not only is it the Spa 24-hour on iRacing coming up this week. I know you've done a bunch of laps testing various cars to run in that race. How you feel bringing this thing next week to the Apex, this Spa race?
It should be a lot of fun. Be able to open it up quite a bit going down the Kemmel Straight and going through the last part of the track, assuming the front end wants to grip, going through Blanchimont. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to have many laps at Spa this week, doing the 24 next weekend and then Apex next Sunday night. So thankfully, Spa is a track that for me never gets old. I'll drive anything and everything there. I love it. So I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to finally using the 7th gear in this car. I think it'll be the first time this season we'll have a straight long enough to actually use it.
No doubt. Well, best of luck to you next weekend, and we'll see you next week here at the Apex this race at Spa. Zin, best of luck.
Yep. See you, Rob.
Take care. That was our second place finisher, Brian Zinn. Let's bring in our big mover and shaker of the day, Stanley Hammonds. Stan, 13 spots gained in this one, starting from the tail end of the field. What do you guys say for yourself?
Yeah, that was fun. That was honestly the first lap I had done in this car and track combo was lap 1. So we were doing it live and missing the wrecks and got 8 spots just by not getting in a wreck on lap 1. So the other 5 were legit, but I think I got 8 in the first lap by just not hitting anybody. So we'll take it. We love it.
They're always skill moves, Stan. We never admit that they're from others' mistakes. But so you didn't do much practice. You didn't do any practice in the car. Are we going to see you next week at Spa in this thing?
Maybe. It's all dependent on my work schedule. I really just want to be home and race all the time. So it's just dependent on my availability. Sunday nights is always kind of a question mark for me. But if I'm home, if I can be, I will be. Because I like racing with Apex. And the car's fun. It's weird. It drives very strangely. But I like it. I had fun in it. So if I can make it, I will.
We saw a number of drivers, namely Cooper, Banks, Greeno all as well. I think there might have been another one or two that lost the back end on this car. I haven't driven it a whole lot, but it seems like you really have to be careful driving it into a corner where it doesn't really have all that aero on it, pushing the back end down. I see a number of drivers losing the back end. Did you have any of that happen out there tonight, or is it just a phenomenon?
No, I mean, I definitely had that happening. For me, my feeling was that you're going so fast in a straightaway and you get on the brakes and the brakes are like brakes off of, little Barbie bicycles. They're totally useless. And you can't turn on the brake and you're flying into a corner over 100 miles an hour or something. You're on the brake, the car won't turn. And when you go to release the brake, then the back end wants to snap around. So there's a fine balance, I think, of braking action, specifically releasing the brake to get it to turn. And I almost did it a couple of times. I didn't get so far out of whack that I actually spun all the way, but there were several moments for me of opposite lock, especially on corner entry, getting off the brake to make the corner. I think I had one moment through the S's where I just straight lined one of them because I was totally going to miss it. And I think I saw Zen do that in the closing laps up ahead of me. I think he had a similar kind of straight line moment where you're just going so hot into the corners and the brakes are nearly useless. So I think this car wants to be a slow in, fast out kind of car. But I don't know. I mean, this is as much as I've driven it since it came out, so I'm kind of just guessing. That was my knee-jerk kind of gut feeling during the race, was that the brakes are bad, and they make us all look bad.
That's right. It's the car. It's not the driver, Stan. I think it's
For sure.
From my my experience driving, I think you kind of have to drive it similar to the Porsche Cup, or say the what's the other one I was thinking of? Kind of like a GTE, I guess, where although a GTE have a ton more aero, but Porsche Cup, where it doesn't have the greatest braking, and it doesn't have all the aero. So like you said, you got to kind of be slow in, fast out, kind of try and get it pointed as quick as you can to get back into the throttle, because you're not going to have any real aero holding you into a corner. But I think I'm going to give you the award for best looking livery of the day with the Sky Lounge Motorsports paint, probably one of the only non grabbed it off training paints themes on the grid. So Sky Lounge Motorsports for the win on the paint side.
Yeah, thanks. It's Sky Lounge is a race team and a graphics department and a broadcast department too, for that matter. And yeah, it's fun. This is one of the more simple ones that I've done. I didn't go to a lot of trouble to throw Sky Lounge all over the car, but I don't know if I can do this well in it. Maybe I need to work up a fresh paint. But I appreciate the award, and yeah, it's fun. It's a fun car, and I agree with you about its similarities with the Porsche Cup and everything. But at least with the Porsche Cup, you don't have anti-lock brakes, so you can't get lulled into thinking, oh man, I got ABS, I'm just gonna go 10 feet further.
Yeah, I guess it's you gotta adjust your braking to brake a lot earlier in the Porsche Cup in this thing versus they look so much like a GT3, and you want to drive it so much like a GT3, but it just doesn't have the braking capability or the aero of those cars. But well done, Stan. You got yourself up on the final step on the podium. 13 places gained. Congrats, and hopefully we see you back next week.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure. Good talking to you.
It is. Take care. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. Okay, that was Stan Hammonds, our third place driver. Doesn't look like we have our winner Lemke in the waiting room at all. So, you know what? We're going to call her a day here. So, thanks to all of her racers. Congrats on the winners. And we will catch you all back again next week on Sunday, July I want to say it's the 14th, I believe it is, for race number 4 of Apex this season 24. Bye for now.